You even started drinking?
Yeah, I just poured a glass of Jameson.
There you go. I just started drinking my Wabat Blue, so perfect.
Right.
I did my drinking
last
night.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta get one, Tessa.
I tried offering her one, but she was like, I'm good.
Maybe I'll get one in a little bit, but I did my drinking last night. I had
You're probably beat it with the conversation we're gonna have with this book, so
well, on that note, let me go grab one.
Fair enough. I like it.
But just that we get the introduction in, and then you can go.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. So, oh yeah. So we'll show you the awesome setup that we have, Dan. Too. We got new mics and a soundboard now too.
Good show,
sweet, dude.
We're getting distracted.
What brand do you like? Is there a specific brand you guys use?
Oh God, what is this brand? I think it's like GE mics or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's right there.
Oh.
Moronit's Professional. And
Nice.
Yeah, something like that.
As long as you love it, that's all that matters.
So I can go grab a beer so I can prep myself.
Well, I'm trying to, but Dan was
You're getting distracted.
Just stop it. Okay.
Sorry, I have ADHD and it just bounces around and it's not even my fault.
I have ADHD as well, but
nice. I took my my what do you call it, dextroamphetamine or
your focus pill.
Yeah, my Ritalin.
Oh geez. All right. This is gonna be a good opener, I think. All right. Anyway,
yeah, amphetamines and alcohol. Let's go.
So welcome everybody to the episode. Oh God, this is already weird because you guys won't understand anyway. But anyway, maybe if I put it in at the beginning, you might understand. But anyway, God, okay. So anyway, what we were just trying to talk about is my name is Paul Doski, and I'm here to crack open a cold one. And I'm here with my lovely fiance,
Tessa Baker.
And if you guys remember the amazing dude behind the very first interview that we've done to the second interview of Wake Dead, and here he is, back again.
Daniel P. Coughlin.
That's right, Daniel P. Coughlin.
And I feel good. I didn't pop a cold one. I got a warm one. It's warming my stomach up.
Oh, geez.
The scotch.
There you go. That will definitely open up those veins up even more.
Open the veins up, and then we all took our amphetamines before the call, and now I think we're gonna talk.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, I've returned with beer. I'm ready.
Is it a Labatt Blue?
Yep, it is a Labatt Blue. I am ready.
Yep.
Fair enough. I love it.
Fair enough.
I love it.
Now, Dan, so I don't even think we need to ask about an introduction for you anymore, because by now people should know who you are, and if not, well, they got the 2 other episodes. So let's get down and dirty into this thing, I guess. So anyway, last year when we were actually talking to you during the Wake Dead, we were asking you about the upcoming project, and you actually mentioned that you were working on a book entitled Satanic Panic. Now, at the time, how far along in the book were you last year?
When we were talking, I had a rough draft, but in my process, I spend about, I'll spend a couple months writing out an outline on notebook paper and pen, and so I had that. Then I usually jump in and just write a whole draft, and it is just like a giant piece of shit. A lot of it doesn't make sense, but it's all there. It's like a lump of clay, and then I can form it from that. So I had the rough draft totally completed, but then I spend more time revising than I actually do writing. So I was revising at the time that I mentioned it last time. And since I found an awesome publisher, Hellbound Books, They're pretty rad. They got some awesome authors over there. James Watt, he's pretty great. He had a book come out last year called Them, which was really, really pretty awesome. And yeah, they've been good to me. The audio book is going to come out too in a little bit. They're producing it right now while we're talking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you've been busy, it sounds like, then, Dan. So that's
Always.
good. Well, that's always a good thing. Just like we have been pretty busy ourselves. But
it helps when you've got ADD. If you don't stay busy, I mean, it's just you just start staying busy with other weird things that get you in trouble.
Oh boy, I was just about to say, like, what kind of weird thing like happens if you don't keep your mind busy. But yeah, we don't need to talk about
Cheetos, pornography, alcohol.
Yeah,
you name it. It just happens.
Oh boy. Now, Dan, I know from like seeing Wake Dead and Dip Day and talking to you 3 times now, I think I've started to finally kind of get an idea of what to expect from you, which is when I went into Satanic Panic, I was just like, okay, I'm going to go in an open mind for a minute, and I'm going to see what he brings into the table first. And when I first started reading, I noticed 3 things right away. One is we got, of course, you have to have your military role model, as I'm going to call it. You need to have somebody that portrays some type of military thing. And
yes.
And what was the second thing I thought of? Oh, you definitely got to have that sex in there. And then the third one, from what I could kind of tell from where I even am now, we got that interesting twist, and that's all I'm going to say, really, for people that have not had a chance to read it yet. But you do have those 3 things. Unless I'm
fair enough. I'm starting to get figured out here. That's okay,
yeah,
though.
that's not a good thing.
No, I just like to write, and the stuff that I write is just it's stuff that I really want to write, and it's stuff that I want to read. So that's me in a nutshell. I think that's my style. That's my writing. I want to make something that I would really like, and I've been fortunate enough to have a couple other people like what I write. So I just am very appreciative of that. But yeah, lots of sex, lots of murder, drugs, alcohol, nihilism, heathenism. You just got to have it. That's just fun.
So, Daniel, what inspired you to write?
That's a good. There's a real thing. It's called the smiley face killer theory. The Oxygen Network just did a documentary on it, and so basically, I was freaked out by this because it happened in and around Wisconsin, where I grew up, and it's still very much ongoing. And they think it's a group of serial killers that they go to these college bars and they find an athletic white male. So their brand of victim is usually very different, because normally serial killers tend to go towards prostitutes, people that aren't going to be missed. But in this case, they're going for white males that are athletic, and then they drown them and throw them in a body of water and make it look like an accident. And they don't have anybody in custody. It's just a big theory right now. And they also believe that they're tied into some kind of occult. And so I read about 50 books on this theory, and then I did some of my own homework, watched some documentaries, and it's just really freaky, and it inspired me to come up with my own shit. And that's where this came from.
Wow. Well, it is awesome that it's based on true events, so that's always a plus. I always love and have to dive into either a movie or a book that is based around true events, so that's awesome to hear.
Dude, just Google it. You'll come up with some freaky stuff. The smiley face devil, the smiley devil killer.
I'll try looking up those smiley devil murders or something. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll incognito my computer, so that way the Fed don't even know.
Well,
I checked my tablet while I was up getting a beer, so I have officially downloaded your book to my tablet. So if I get some free time tomorrow during one of my sitter cases, I will definitely start diving into it.
I appreciate it, as I always. You guys are awesome, and I'm glad that we've had a working relationship that delved into a friendship. You guys are just freaking awesome, and it's nice to have friends that we share similar tastes and sick ideas, and I appreciate that about you guys.
Oh, speaking of sick ideas, Daniel,
here we go.
I think Daniel might have.
He'll probably appreciate it,
probably
most likely.
will.
But
so guess what? Tessa finally got to see. I forget, last Monday, I think it was.
Yes, a Serbian film.
Oh, dude, that was wrong on a lot of different levels.
Yes, it was.
Did you watch the unedited version?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I watched the unfiltered, unedited version of it, and Paul was so proud of me. I did not look away. I did not cover my eyes. I didn't get up and walk out of the room. I sat through the whole thing, and he was so proud of me. At the end of it, she was just like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to unsee what I just saw. And I just like...
I don't think you are, but... No. Dude, that movie you can't, it's like, you really can't go out in public and tell people that you like this movie after explaining what it's about.
Yeah.
Like, they just think there's something very wrong with you.
All right, yeah. I can't physically say that I liked it. I was disturbed by it, but it was definitely...
It grabbed your attention, though, right?
Yeah, it definitely
that movie commands your attention.
Yeah, it does command your attention, and it's definitely a experience for sure.
That you will not forget. That's
an experience.
They do. They cross that line, especially with children.
Yeah, they definitely cross that threshold, and that's where I was like, "What the fuck?"
You gotta have balls to do that, because that could have just blown up in their faces. But you couldn't deny it, because it was an extremely well made film. Yeah, the filmmakers they ended up in court, didn't they?
I
believe so.
They were interviewed or something by the FBI or whatever law enforcement, because there was some really sick shit in there.
Oh,
questionable stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be spoiler alert for people that hadn't seen it. It was probably about the infant that what happened. No, that thing. That thing. Yeah.
That was one of the parts where I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then the ending was, "What the fuck?"
The whole movie really was what the fuck, but those
were like the two main things that stuck out to me that I was personally disturbed by, like really bad, and then the rest of it, I was just kind of like.
Well, that's the thing too, and you almost when you're watching it, you want to be you really want to get to the point where you want to turn it off, because you're like, I shouldn't be watching this. This is just one of those things that's way over the line. But the film is actually very well made. So that doesn't help either.
No.
Just continue to watch.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
definitely believable. It like borderline realism.
Yeah. It makes I Spit on Your Grave look like a Disney movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you watch the remake and sequels of that one? Spit on Your Grave?
I don't.
I believe I have. I might need a refresher though.
Check those out. Yeah, it's not as bad as a Serbian film, but it's the same sport.
Mm.
Well, I have some suggestions from a friend of ours, Stacy, and she's like, watch 120 days of like Sodomin and finish watching and then she's like Martyrs, and I was like, well, I watched almost all of Martyrs except for one part that Paul withheld from me. He like censored it for like, I don't know, because he didn't think I could handle it. But pretty much she's just like, watch 120 Days of Sodom and then watch Martyrs all the way through, and then you can turn around and tell anybody that you can watch anything because there's nothing that you haven't seen because you've seen the words.
You've been desensitized by that point.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I'm surprised Human Centipede wasn't in that list either. But
because I've seen a Human Centipede.
Yeah, me too. But still,
that one is just. That's another one where if you actually take the filmmaking, it's done quite well. It's just that's the magic of filmmaking too, is taking something completely unbelievable and showing it in a way that makes people believe that it can happen.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's any copycats that came out of that, like trying to sew each other's lips to their butts.
I don't.
Who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of sick fucking people out there, so that wouldn't surprise me one bit.
God bless every single one of them.
Amen to that. But no, real quick, I was going to say, so a Serbian film actually came back into print again because it was out of print for a while because of the fact that it kept getting banned by countries. So
yeah, where did you find it? Because I'll let you know, I have 4,000 DVDs at my house, and I have Netflix and all that stuff too, but I like DVDs and Blu-rays, and that's one I don't have it.
He found it on Amazon.
Okay, it's just right on Amazon, huh?
Yep, it was.
I remember not being able to get that.
Yeah, I was looking for a cheap version of it, and then this one day I went on Amazon and there it was for $20. So I was just like, yeah.
I'm gonna look it up for Dan like right now.
No, as soon as we're done, I'm ordering that thing.
So yeah, exactly. But yeah, Amazon is where a Serbian film can right now be purchased while you can still get it. People
fair enough.
Do that.
But anyway, I'm on top of that.
But yeah, but to touch on what you were saying, Daniel, about meeting us and meeting you, likewise, because, it's always, when Tessa and I first got done talking to you, Megan, and Ryan the first time, we literally thought of all three of you as friends because, you guys were our first interview. I think it was your first time together, too, or something, like doing a podcast or an interview. Podcast. So in a way, it was just like a cool meetup and just sharing the bond of the first timers for doing the thing that we are doing exactly like right now.
We got de-virginized together.
Exactly. And it is kind of weird that Ryan is not with us tonight too, because he's been with us for the past 2 times. And I remember both of you saying like, well, I won't go on unless Dan's with me, or I won't go on if Ryan's with me, but I know he's...
No! In fact, I had thought about, asking him just to call in, or if that would be all right, because we do well together. He and I are working on some stuff again, too.
Well, he should have called in then.
Yeah. I should have. I will next time. I feel kind of naked without him.
I think you'll be fine. I think you'll do fine. But
I just thought of a film that I haven't seen yet.
Uh-oh.
I'm surprised you didn't say, you're
which
going to
one?
This Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh, geez.
I have that one. I'm looking. I can literally reach out and grab it. There it is.
Yeah, that's the one.
Did you watch The Green Inferno? The Eli Roth movie?
Yeah.
That was the same subgenre. Good stuff.
Yeah, that was really well done, I thought. That one was pretty long, too, right?
Cannibal Holocaust? I think, it's like an hour and...
No, the Green Inferno.
Oh, yes, The Green Inferno is it, you mean like, is it long in minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's longer than your average. Actually, I don't know. I think it is, but...
I want to say it is, but yeah.
I think you're going to...
I have no idea.
I don't know either. But,
Cannibal Holocaust is amazing, though.
Yeah, that was the film where the people had to go to court to prove that everybody was still alive. So
yes, and that's Eli Roth's favorite movie, isn't it?
I want to say so.
I'm pretty sure it is. I know he talks about it a lot, and I know that the Green Inferno was his homage to it.
Yeah, and then we just reached last year. We had somebody from Cannibal Holocaust actually passed away too, and I already forgot who it was. Crap.
I'm holding the DVD right now, actually.
I just
Wait, no, this is Cannibal Thoreau.
Oh, geez. That sounds
same filmmaker. Where is this? Maybe.
I don't know.
Is Cannibal Thoreau and Cannibal Holocaust? No, they're not the same thing. But they're both Umberto Lenzi movies.
Oh,
that Italian filmmaker.
Interesting. So they're both like believable.
Yeah,
possibly.
Don't go to the Amazon is the message. Leave those people alone. They didn't ask for your help. They don't want it. Actually, they do want it, but they want to eat you.
Oh God! So yeah, no wonder why you want to stay away from the Amazon. Yeah, no wonder. But yeah, going back to Satanic Panic. So you've had it for a while. It sounds like with you doing the research, to having a rough draft for last year.
I spent a lot of time researching that. It was the first time I took. Well, Ted's Score I did a lot of research on. That was my first novel. But this one, I wrapped my head around the serial killer theory that's going on, and you know my work. It is what it is, and I love it. It's like schlock horror, which I love. But I still, I tapped into it as much as I could, and then I spent a lot of time getting this thing right. And I remember during revisions, I did some major changes, so there was a lot of rewriting. And then also I had a kid about the time I started writing it. So I love that little guy more than anything. But those little people demand a lot of time. So I didn't have the usual amount of time to write. Whereas I used to write for between 4 and 12 hours a day.
Oh,
and
wow.
Now I'm maybe 4 and 12 hours a week.
Damn. But yes, I mean, it's worth to have a kid anyway. So, I mean, you and you're having a great time with your kid anyway. I mean, I kind of see your posts every now and then about you guys going to this place and having fun. So it's always, I mean, I guess in a way we all gotta grow up in a way. Like we just gotta grow up. So
that you speak for yourself, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't want to grow up. I mean, I still have a kid heart, and I don't care what anybody says. So
I do too. It's just you can't get rid of that.
You have to take care of your inner child.
Oh yeah,
people's idea of growing up is kind of lame anyway. I mean, you as you get older, I guess you stop doing so much stupid shit. But that little naughty 15-year-old never leaves. and it's so much fun when he comes out.
Well, this is how you're gonna grow up. You're gonna grow up. You're gonna become me because that's what I want you to be. So that means you're gonna be boring. Okay, so I'm pretty much gonna be boring. Okay, well, I don't want whatever you're talking about. I'll just stick to what I want to do with that inner child.
That's right.
And
it gives you character. Yes,
exactly. And speaking of inner child, too, Daniel, is like one episode that Tessa and I want to do in the near future is, I don't know if you ever watched it if you were either little or heard about it or whatever, but have you ever heard of the cartoon on Nickelodeon that was called All Real Monsters?
Maybe. I used to watch a lot of Nickelodeon when I was a kid. I just remember the school where they had the kids like locked in the dungeon, and then there was always the slime, and they had to read the dictionary over and over again. I don't remember the monster part though. Is that a Nick at Night thing?
No, it was a Nickelodeon one. It had like Ickis, Crumb, and Oblina, but if you don't remember it, maybe it came on. Actually, it came on in like 93, 94. So, maybe you might.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know I've seen it then because I used to watch Nickelodeon pretty religiously.
Oh, I know. I used to watch it.
Nickelodeon.
I used to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark, Real Monsters, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, all that stuff. But so yeah, getting back on the topic too but I just had to throw it out there since we were talking about growing up and keeping the child kid
Absolutely.
out. But you know, so since it was based on what was it? Your hometown? You said in Wisconsin.
It wasn't my hometown, but it was all these college towns in the state of Wisconsin.
Okay.
I think the first victims started in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Oh, damn.
And then they kind of, they're all over the place now. They're popping up in Massachusetts, all over the Midwest, Chicago, Minnesota, and the body count is somewhere around 300. So that's, it's and the FBI kept saying that it was just all coincidence that this was drunken people falling in the river and dying, because that's what it looked like. But then they started, there was a couple of kids that got away or almost got away and then were drowned later on. And then they found a couple of the bodies and found that the water in their lungs was different from the water composition where they were found, meaning that they were probably drowned in a bathtub or something like that and then thrown into a river.
Oh.
So then they started exhuming bodies and stuff like that, and it gets weirder and weirder.
It already sounds like it's weird.
Yeah. Plus, I wanted to write something about the occult. That's just something I've wanted to do for a while. Because when you're a kid, you've heard stories about like satanic cults out in the woods and human sacrifices and that kind of stuff, and I kind of wanted to do my own version of that.
Oh, and now you did. So it's I just think for what I've been reading so far, I definitely see now after reading where I am, which is chapter 15. I don't know how many chapters there are and where I am right now in the book, but to the ending. But from you just mentioning the true event part, I can click it where I've read like where you mentioned in the book, like, oh, like the water different than like the river, or all the stuff you just mentioned. So it's really cool to see all that come into play in your book, where in the weirdest way you're like shining the light on it, like not really saying you like you didn't really say it's based on true events, but it is fascinating of how much true event is in your book. So you really definitely did your homework for sure. And
yeah, we're always inspired by something. Something in real life always inspires all of our ideas, I think. And that was just, I think my fascination with that murder case was the basis for this idea.
Yes.
Which was fun.
Now, was there any type of inspiration that you got for like the three main characters, which were Brock, Brianna, and Lance?
Lance. There was just from my person. None of the people that they're based off of had sex with each other, nor was it taken. They were just friends that maybe were borrowed from to create the characters.
Okay.
I guess. So they were constructed with some level of realistic characteristics, but as far as where they go, that was all fiction.
Well, I guess you for the erotica novel, I guess, with the three-way that was going on like 3 times in that book, or whatever many times it seemed. But,
yeah.
How
I have a tendency to go that way. I don't mean to, and I guess if I was writing something where it wasn't necessary, I would lay off of it a little bit. But it's just I don't know. Maybe I'm a pervert. It's just there.
Well, I guess we're all perverts then, because I honestly think that without giving too much away where I am, I think it actually fits well with what you were trying to do with how to blend in the smiley And
there's a spiritual aspect to it too, I think.
too.
To where, whether you believe or not in a god or in a devil, there's always the tropes of how does the devil pollute your life, or how does he make his way in and ultimately destroy you. And I wanted to show that, through sex often complicates everything. It changes a lot of things, and it can be either beautiful or it can, devastate people's relationships. And so I was thinking, if we're going to get into devil worship and the occult and all that, let's show how a realistic version of a satanic thought can kind of destroy a group of friends, and then we'll actually take the literal satanic cult and have them butcher people as well. So I wanted to kind of meld those two together.
Yeah. I mean, from where I am with chapter 15, I mean, I kind of saw something come in, but it wasn't quite pinpointed on it. But that's why I kind of said the twist with the three things that I've noticed from you. And I remember when I was younger, and I was raised in a Catholic Christian home, of course, and went to Christian school and stuff like that. But then as I grew up, and then as I
went to Catholic school too. Yay!
It got me to open up my eyes more of what really is out there for religion. And I started to do my own research at around 13, 14 years old, I think. And that's where I found Wiccan, pagan, Satanism, all the other type of things that have been interesting. But Satan, the thing that I really like the most is the way people look at Satanists sometimes. It's not always bad. It just really depends on, I guess, who you talk with and if
you talk to the actual Church of Satan, I don't think that they don't really promote violence or anything like that. In fact, the Church of Satan, they're from what I understand, I've talked to a few people about it, is that they're more about they're more atheists than anything, and they just believe in the power of ritual. And then they don't believe in, if you want to do whatever you want to do in life that makes you happy, you shouldn't feel guilty about it. So they want to do away with guilt, and then they understand the power of ritual before you do something. Some people pray before they go into a meeting, and that gives them a little extra confidence boost. Some people, I don't know, slam a shot of tequila, and that gives them the confidence they need. There's people use rituals to do everything in life. Some people eat a toasted bagel before they take a huge chemistry test. It's just that I think that's what the Church of Satan is all about. It's more human behavior and less. I think they provide a realistic version of what spiritual is.
Right, and
I'm not an expert, so I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either, but I just also know from what I've even read is they look at the safety of the kids. It sounds weird to say that, but in a way, how do they word it? It was they want your kids to realize they can choose and do what they want to do, like you were kind of mentioning, but they want you to embrace the freedom without having to have some religion getting shoved down somebody else's throat in a way,
right? Or societal judgment, which can just be terrible too. So, are you a member or anything?
I am not.
Okay, fair enough.
I am not. I just read.
You've done your homework.
Yeah, I do my homework. That's for sure.
Yeah, so do I. It's fascinating to me how people can get into that.
Yeah,
why they get into that.
Yeah,
but then the answer is usually very, very simple, and there's not a whole lot to it. which is
No,
also even more
but
fascinating.
like not really to really touch on religion too much too, but it brings up a good interesting fact of what I even said too about the whole shoving down religion down your throat thing is, when you really study between the Christians and the Satanists and you actually read about like when the war between heaven and hell came, only 10 people from hell were 10 people died from people from hell, while people from heaven killed like 10,000 people. So, and they didn't want to even go to war or something like that, as I remember correctly. Like the devil or whatever, Satan didn't even want to really go to war. It was God or whatever that wanted to go to war, blah blah blah. But it's the really
fallen angel, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird. Like, but if you really dive into it and really compare the numbers between God and the devil, and you're gonna see that the devil only killed like 10 people versus the 10,000 that God has, then you kind of see that weird thing where in your brain you're like, I want to look more into this. And then when you get like the what are they called? The Satanic Bible, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you really start to read more. And like, I mean, I had a friend that used to worship that book. Like it was his thing. Like every day he would carry that book. He would read it. Like even if he read it, the whole thing, he would go back and read it again. Like that's how much this book meant to him. It was really cool to see something like that in a way of like how, like you were saying, one can really get into it. And just like me, right. I mean, I got more into the pagan Wiccan thing because I like the idea of a green witch where you can help people by healing them with herbs and stuff like that.
Huh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But
then there's devil worshippers. I did learn that too. There's Satanists and devil worshippers are also two different things.
Yeah.
The devil worshippers, which I believe, and I might be throwing this right out of my ass, but I believe Glenn Danzig, formerly of the Misfits, is into that. And probably. I think they kind of get into some Serbian shit.
Yeah, probably. Not
Serbia as a country, but as a film.
Oh, right. There's another weird name too, but I can't remember how they Lucification or something. Ah, man, I don't remember the
Luciferian.
Yeah, maybe that's the word I'm thinking of.
I'm trying to.
What is it?
Is it Luciferian?
Luciferian. Huh. I've not even heard of that one.
I want to say that's how you say it, but
Luciferian or something.
But I know the lead singer of a band called Cradle of Filth believed in that, if we're even pronouncing it right. And I tried looking into that. And
I don't know. Maybe I need to drink more.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I think I might have another one too.
Yeah, exactly. But
when I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, and there's this weird. It's not weird. It's like a underground heavy metal scene that kind of goes on between the military bases. And there was this when I was stationed there was this band called Zero Faith, and they were big into the occult, and they didn't care who knew it, and they kind of promoted it at their concerts. And I remember my buddy and I accidentally stumbled into a concert once, and it was like a full on. It was a rock show, but it was like a gathering of all these people that worshipped Satan together, and it was weird. I'd just never been to something like that. Nobody was extremely violent. They're like moshing and shit like that. And then the lead singer of the band called Zero Faith had a pentagram tattooed or scarred into his chest, and that was kind of interesting. And then there's most of the people there were Air Force, Marines, whoever was stationed there. So it was a big military presence. Wow. And I remember going to that club, and now I'm trying to think of what the name of that club is. Yeah, I can't remember, but it was outside of Kadena Air Force Base in Okinawa, Japan. And that band kind of they were like almost like the satanic pastor, if you will.
So pretty much
that also they could have just been promoting their band too. It might just be all bullshit, and that's a way to get a fan base too. But I remember it freaking me out a little bit and kind of being introduced to something I'd never been introduced to before, and that was fascinating and a little scary at the same time.
Well, I think the best way if you're going to learn a religion such as Satanism, I think, for me anyway, I would rather like to talk to the lead singer of Behemoth, Nurgle. Oh my God, that guy would definitely know I would like to have him as my teacher to learn about the Satanism thing, because that's all his band talks about is Satanist stuff. But I mean, the way he does it though is really cool with his albums. Like, he doesn't necessarily like try to tell you to worship the devil, but like he does it from like a way from the Bible, if that makes any sense. Like, he'll take a certain part of the Bible and he'll put it into the
satanic text.
The satanic text, which is really interesting. So I would recommend that for sure. It's the Behemoth band.
What? So, Behemoth?
Behemoth, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. That's trippy stuff.
Oh yeah, and I've actually met that dude, and they're from Poland, so they don't fuck around.
Okay, I think I have heard of those guys. They're pretty hardcore too, yeah, with the metal music.
Oh yeah. The lead singer actually had leukemia a couple years ago too, like 4 or 5 years ago himself.
He beat it?
Yeah, he did beat it.
That's good.
Yeah, he was looking for a transplant for a kidney, I think it was, or something. I can't remember right exactly what he was looking for the transplant. But yeah, it took him a while. But yeah, he had to stop touring. When he came back, he had a shaved head because of the the chemo, the damage and stuff. And I think like when he came back, that next album that they put out called The Satanist, that was probably the best album that Behemoth has ever done anyway. So maybe that.
Gotcha. And they're kind of they're a little. What's the word I'm looking for? They're devout into that religion.
Yeah, like that's what, I don't know. I don't want to say like that's what they believe in, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, right. You hear stories of this stuff all the time, and that's what really fascinates me too. Is what does that guy do for fun on the weekend when he's not doing a concert or something? Does he go to some I don't know, far off desert place and worship the devil? Does he wear the black robes? What is the deal? What does it look like when they're not in the public eye or when they're doing their own thing? And that's the kind of stuff that it's got my curiosity.
He makes country music in a way, but not just any country music. He like
come worship my devil.
Yeah, it was like, oh man, what was their first single? His first single off of that side project he started away from Behemoth, but he still.
He really is a country singer too.
He became one in a way, but he still kept that Satanist thing like in the lyrics though. Like one was something about like the black church, like come worship at my black church or something. I can't remember. Oh man, that's gonna upset me now. We gotta remember what this is. But anyway, that guy knows his stuff, and I mean he had to actually start he had to put a warning on his website for his like Behemoth store and stuff because of people getting offended by his because of the whole
content
thing. Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous. Oh my God, what is the name of that band? Man in Me. Oh, crap. I'll have to
check that out.
I'm gonna have to look up his stuff and give you the idea of what his other thing is called.
I might have it saved. Hold on.
You might have it saved. Oh, here it is. Me and That Man. That's his side project.
Me and That Man.
Yeah, that's his side project. And the single that I'm thinking of is, well, one of his singles, which is really interesting, is called Cross My Heart, Hope to Die. And then the one that I'm thinking of is like Black Church. Something about Black Church. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Those sound kind of terrifying.
Yeah. It's definitely weird though when you hear My Church is Black. There it is. That's the song title. My Church is Black.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very different between Me and That Man and Behemoth. I'll tell you that. It's a very big difference. But
I want to check all this stuff out now.
I'll send you a big juicy text after we're done, Daniel, with all this information. So there you go.
I will take that big juicy text, and I will love it and care for it.
There you go. Now, is there anything to Dan that we haven't really touched on with your book that you would like to touch on? Because
I'd like everybody to buy it.
Yes,
I'd like to touch that. And then I'd like to touch myself, and then
here we go.
And then I want to touch you.
Oh, Jesus. Whoa, we need to.
Sorry, I'm full on drinking now. I just opened a big wave golden ale.
Oh, here we go. Well, all I'm going to say is, well, at this rate, we're going to need the alcohol, the lotion, and I guess a nice summer camp or something. I don't goddamn know. Speaking of touching yourself and all that stuff, one of the interesting things that I gotta say is, and I'm really hoping this is like fiction, but then again, this could actually be a possibility too, which is we find out with the Smiley Devil cult is one of the things that they like to do is when they kill and record and edit and upload their sacrifice to the dark web, they like to touch themselves too. And do I want to say they crack open a cold one too? Maybe, I don't know.
They do. They crack open a cold one, kick back, watch some snuff. It's a good old time.
Yeah, it sounds like a good old time to plead that dark ward up there.
That's a Tuesday morning where I come from. That's a good time.
Oh, jeez. Well, that sounds like a Saturday morning over here. Wait, what?
Hey, have you ever gone on the dark web?
Nope.
I
haven't either. I haven't, but I know a lot of people that have.
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm not. I won't play around with that.
I
don't want to
end up on some list.
Film.
Yeah, we don't need another snuff film or whatever.
But from what I understand, there's a lot of weird shit that goes on there too. Like watching some of these like real life snuff films, and I know that you can like you can have people killed and stuff like that, and purchase your hitman on there, and man, it's just that it's.
Oh yeah, you can do a lot of things. Oh yeah, you can do a lot of things on the dark web. It's pretty much like the black market, but it's more than just that, I guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean that's why people would probably tell you if you're going to go on the dark web, make sure it's like at a library or something. So.
Right? Yeah, just find like we all have that friend that we really don't give a shit about. Just go to his house and use his computer. Yeah,
just start going onto the dark web and be like, oh, this is cool, and forget to quote the tab. And then you just watch this guy, like, brain get splattered all over the wall, and you're like, okay, that was enough. And then you forget to close out of the tab and forgot to go incognito on your computer.
And then the FBI is at his house. And then now we're all in big trouble.
Yeah, and then you hear that your friend got kidnapped the next day. Oh, shit. Wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just something I don't want to be responsible for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to laugh about it either, but geez, I mean, we all have that one dumbass friend that we don't care for. That's for sure.
We do. I'm not even going to say his name on here because he might listen. But I would do that to him.
Oh, jeez. Have you seen that?
It's a joke.
Yeah, exactly, the joke. Have you seen that movie then? What is it? Unfriended Dark Web?
I think so.
Unfriended? Is that what that is? I have not seen that one yet.
I think that's the name of it. I think that's like the sequel to the first one, which I hear is not so great. But then again, I mean, if you like watching movies where you're practically just staring at a computer screen throughout the whole movie, then yeah, I mean, I guess that's for you, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can't say too much. I haven't seen the film, so I don't know.
Maybe there's more to look into it.
Yeah, me too. But, yeah, Dan, so the idea, though, of the Satanic Panic and stuff, like, so is there any type of possibilities of this was also, in a way, trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they're trying to not only, I guess, put light on it in a way, like, of this series, like, this real thing that is going on that you're saying, like, everywhere, but...
yeah, definitely. Just kind of get people's minds working, you know? I literally wonder if this is a real thing, if people actually do this stuff. Which, I mean, in extremely rare cases, I think we've learned that people do this stuff. But as far as... I hope I don't draw any of it towards me, but I guess just there's a message, I guess, that goes with it. Don't have 3 ways with your friends. No.
Yeah, that would destroy every relationship friendship you ever had. Yeah, don't worry about it, Daniel. I don't even remember where I was trying to even go with mine, so it didn't even matter. Like I guess what I was trying to say is something along the lines of like you were trying to do a wake up call, but I don't think that's really the right word, and I even want it anyway. But whatever.
No, I wanted to make a really fun horror book about the occult, and you know, I just wanted to shed some light on some of the paranoias that we all experience from time to time, and this is something I think that everybody can connect to, and we all wonder about it sometimes, and it's very taboo, but I wanted to explore it and make a book out of it, and I did so, and I hope I did a good job. I definitely love the book and the material, and I'm very thankful to Hellbound Books for publishing it, and then doing the audio book. That'll be fun to have somebody read Satanic Panic to me, like a night story. So that's kind of.
You should have done the narration.
That's where I'm at with that. I don't know. I don't. I'm very nasally, and I can't sit still very long. So I don't know if I'd be good at reading on tape. I don't know. I don't even know if I have the voice for it. Those guys, those voice actor people, they definitely got a skill set. You guys could do that.
I don't know about that. You know, I could definitely see somebody like you pulling it off for sure. I mean, you definitely got that not annoying voice compared to some of the audiobooks that I've heard. But
gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of audiobooks, or do you read them or have them read to you?
Both. I read them, and then sometimes I like it when it is read to me. So I guess it depends on where I am.
I've never done it. I've never done the audiobook. I've never listened to one.
Well,
I know that Steven Weber did the new It, or he did the reading of It for the audiobook. So I'm kind of interested that Steven Weber starred in my movie Farmhouse. And so it'd be kind of cool to listen to him do Stephen King's It, because that's my favorite book.
And you must be excited for the second one.
I am. Are you? Did you like the first one?
I haven't seen it yet, to be honest.
I haven't seen it?
No, I have not seen the remake because I kind of like Tim Curry's version. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm usually
They're just
against.
different. Well, one's a TV miniseries. You got to remember that, and then this new one is a feature film, and it's pretty well done. It's very well done. I've probably seen it 6 or 7 times.
Oh wow! Well, from
the dude that does Pennywise does a fantastic job. And even the kids are really good too. They have a good rapport, so it's very entertaining. They're pretty funny. So there's a nice comedic angle. It's a good representation of Stephen King's book.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. I mean, when I watched the trailer for the second one, it did grab my attention. So I was like, okay, maybe I should watch the first one. So I guess I'll
give it a whirl.
I will do that. Now, Dan, I honestly can't think of anything to really say about the book since I haven't really finished it like Stacy has, which Stacy was hoping to possibly drop in today, but she
dropped out.
No, well, she was at
missed her.
Yeah, well, she had a cookout to go to, and she wasn't going to be going back home, so I guess next time. But
fair enough.
But oh man. So how long are you planning on wanting to promote this book, and like what do you want to accomplish with your book, I should say?
I'm just proud of it. I'd like to get it out there. Like to hear what people think of it, especially people that are into the horror genre, because that's my genre. That's what I love to do, and that's about it.
Yeah, I agree, and
I'd like it to succeed beyond my wildest imaginations.
Well, I think you're doing a good job from what I'm reading, especially with that 3-way shit. It's just like, oh, geez, here we go. but like,
it's not a good book without a 3-way
or 4-way, but there's no 4-way. But so I get that dog on the street.
Sometimes there's little people involved.
Oh, geez, well, Dan, so is there anything that you're working on for the future project? I know when we were talking, you couldn't say much about, I think it was a possible sequel to Dit Day. Is there any other books that you're planning on writing or are writing, or?
I'm writing a new book. I'm about halfway through the rough draft, so it'll be a long time before I'm done with that. I don't even have a title for it yet, other than there's a military werewolf, and then there's a demonically possessed great white shark, and that's I mean there's a linear story in there, but that's where I want to go. So this one's just pure, really just fun in your face, nothing to take too serious, just a really good fun horror read.
Oh, then the title of the film should be called Spank the Monkey. There we go. There's your title right there.
Spank the Monkey.
Spank the Monkey. And you know, project great white shark. I just had to think of something stupid. Spank the Monkey.
Do great white sharks have dicks? I think I heard that they do.
Probably. I mean, I think everything else does. So, another thing, Dan, before we wrap it up too, is, you know, after we got done last year with the Wake Dead episode, I started to think, and when you contacted us again to talk about coming on here again to talk, it came back into my brain, and I know how there was some stuff going on with Wake Dead 2 got shelved and stuff, but let me ask you this. Is there a possibility where you could possibly take the Wake Dead series that you wanted and actually just turn it into a book series? So that way the story...
I would love to do that, but I don't know where the rights fall on that. I know that because the company that produced it originally dissolved, I know that in those cases the script is supposed to go back to the writer. That said, you know, Lionsgate distributed it. I don't know what kind of rights they retained from it. After Dark Films they put it out there too. I don't know what kind of rights they have over it. So I had gotten a lawyer at one point, and he just said, it's up in the air. I could probably fight for it or whatever, but it was also an asset in a court case. So there's too much going on with that thing to where I don't think, from a rights standpoint, I would touch it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I just started.
But no, I would love to. That was my first love, that movie. Whether you loved it or you hated it, I had a great time writing it, and then that was the first time I sold the screenplay, so it was like that dream come true. You show up at set, and there's like 100 people putting lights up and stuff and making your movie, and that was cool. And then I got to see it on the big screen, and that was awesome. So I would have loved for that thing to go on for like 10 sequels, but I think it's just, it's one and done.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way the first one ended, you definitely set up a sequel, of course, but...
I wrote a sequel. I wrote, and I got paid for half of it. So there was a sequel. That thing was going into production, and that's when there was some kind of legal battle. Shit fell apart. The company dissolved. The movie went away.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well,
good times.
That's always not so fun either. But I forgot if I mentioned it the first time when I first talked with you, Daniel, which was like 2 years ago. But Wake Dead was the first film that I actually was introduced to your work, if I may say. So, and it grabbed my attention really good. That Wake Dead was probably one of my favorite 8 films to die for, next to like Wicked Little Thing, Unrest, and The Grave Dancers. So
those are like my top 3 as well.
Yeah. So I mean,
good stuff.
And I remember when Tessa first saw, I introduced Tessa the first time to Wake Dead. She was just like, "Well then," and I was just like, "Yeah, this is who we're going to be talking with." Like, okay.
It is what it is.
Exactly. But
does a dog lick its own ballsack? That's the question I beg of you.
Oh, geez. Well, I think we all know the answer to that one. Did he chew on it too? So I apologize if you did already answer it, but to wrap it up too, one more time is actually, first 2 things. One is congratulations on your screenplay for TED Score, but I probably need to check that one out, because is that different than the TED Score that we have from you? The screenplay
it won best screenplay at a couple film festivals last year. I was very proud of that. It doesn't have it got almost optioned a couple times. There was some people looking at it. Nothing's come to fruition, but I'm pretty proud of the script. And the film version of that story is quite a bit different from the book. And it's just because when you adapt the book into a screenplay, there's just certain things that translate well, and some things do not translate well onto the screen. Mostly because you're dealing in 2 senses as opposed to 5 with the writing. In a novel, you can talk about what people are thinking inside their heads. You can tell people what they're smelling, all the everything. And then on screen, you see and you can hear, and that's it. So there was quite a few significant changes from the book to the movie.
Nice. And the last thing that I can think of too is, can you say anything about the Ditch Day sequel, or not really?
I don't know. I would love for that thing to go on for 10 more movies too, but I don't know where that is at either.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because well, maybe not. I was gonna say I think that left off for a sequel, but then again, more that I think about it,
everything is left for a sequel, and something's left open, and even if it's not left open, you can always figure out a way to come up with a sequel. And I would like that to go to part 10, where like the killer is now just a decapitated head in a jar running around killing people on the moon in the year 3024. But
robotic body.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Or mutant. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just do what they did with Jason X up in space or Wepicon in space. Then
Dude, right? That movie was so terrible that it was awesome.
Exactly.
Jason X.
Oh man. Yeah, I can't think of anything else too, Dan, but let me see. Tessa, is there anything that you would like to ask Dan?
There's nothing else I can think of. You've pretty much asked him what I would.
Okay.
Fair enough. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this too.
Hey, you're welcome, Dan. So thank you so much again for the opportunity too, and you're always welcome on, Dan. I mean, even if you don't want to be interviewed, but if you want to talk about a specific movie,
like if we plan on talking, which we probably will, like a Serbian film later on, maybe you'd like to join us for that.
Oh yeah, I would love to. That'd be awesome. Anytime we're doing that, we're all three film junkies here, and I can talk about horror movies forever till I'm blue in the face.
I'm now known as the horror guy at work. So anybody that needs to see a horror movie, they come to me now at work. So
that is an honor to have that title.
It is. It is, and then it's just like, well, then, like, what are they into and what are they not into? Like, do they want something disgusting like a Serbian film, or do they not? And so I threw that out there to them too. I'm like, well, I was like, well, if you're looking for a disgusting, disturbing film, you need to just watch this film right now while it's still in print, or because it came back into print. So while it's still in print, you might as well buy the damn thing, just so you can have it, and that way you can at least say to people that you've seen the damn film. Don't say that you like it, because otherwise you're gonna be looked at differently if you say you like that.
There's a stigma that comes with that film.
Yeah. I mean, I personally would not say
Serbian stigma.
Yeah, that's another good one. Stigmata. I think that's the name.
Stigmata.
Of it. Oh,
Yes. Yeah, that creeped me out back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did I ever tell you? You went to Catholic school as well. I think. Did you go to Catholic school?
Yeah.
Oh well, if you can Google this, the Carl Siege exorcism of 1860. His name's Carl. Last name is Siege. Siege. It's one of the most documented exorcisms in U.S. history, and the guy was exorcised on the altar that I was baptized on.
Oh,
creepy
wow.
Story.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that already sounds creepy
enough.
Yeah, that sounds already creepy enough. But yes, Dan, Dan, once again, thank you for coming, and don't be a stranger. You're always welcome on. And for people listening, where can people find your book and keep up with you if you would like them to? Yes.
Please check out my work either at danielpcoughlin.com or buy the book at amazon.com or barnesandnoble.com. And I'm sure there's a couple other ones, but Amazon's probably the best place to get it.
Yeah, I've been watching Barnes and Nobles, and what did I thought it was not up yet, so it probably still taking like another few weeks.
Actually, I can't think of it. There's a chain of bookstores on the East Coast that has it in the brick and mortar as well, and I forgot. I'll text that to you.
Oh, cool.
When I figure that one out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. I love the whoever the artist did. I don't know the artist's name yet. But the artist that did the book cover, I was very, very impressed with him. So I was very happy. It really set the tone for that kind of that B horror vibe, and that's what I was going for, and I got it, and I'm pretty proud of this.
Yeah, you're definitely a
disgusting little book.
1980s. So, and that cover definitely fit the atmosphere, I will say, and that's probably one of my favorite covers that I've seen in a while too. I just like the idea of it. It blends in nicely. So.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the old Maniac poster from 1981.
Exactly.
That's like one of my favorite cover arts of all time.
Yeah, and it reminded me of another piece of artwork too from the Cradle of Filth band called Pornography, where they had like a half naked lady like laying on the bed, like with a knife, I think, in her chest too, or bleeding or something.
Was she wearing a clown mask?
I don't think so.
Fair enough.
Well, all right, Dan. Well, thank you so much for coming. I don't want to take up any more of your time. And like,
no, thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys both effing rock. I appreciate you.
It's okay, Dan. You can swear on here, so you're good.
All right, I'm gonna go have my 9th drink, and then I'm gonna pass out, and I feel good about all this. All
right. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Dan, and we'll definitely have to. And yeah, don't be a stranger. And Tesla and I think of you as a friend too. So
all right, thank you so much. You guys fucking rock.
Well, you fucking rock too, yourself. And Tesla, remember what?
Oh, look, check in the mail for those books.
Check in the mail? Oh, okay.
Yes, the books were sent. They were mailed.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, Dan, for that. And Tesla, what else would we like to have the listeners do?
And as always, stay scary.
Woo-woo.